Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a get ready with me because I currently have not done my hair and makeup, and I've been getting a few questions recently on my videos about what I do for my natural everyday look. So I thought, why not do it together so we can get ready and I will sit down and do my makeup with you guys while having a little chat. Now, if you are new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up as it really supports my channel. So let's get into it. The first thing I really like to do, and I feel like this kind of wakes me up a bit, is use a facial hydrosol. So I've got this one from Aesop, and this is called the Immediate Moisture Facial Hydrosol. And I literally just do a couple of spritzes like this and just kind of let that settle into the skin. And the next thing I do, if I want my makeup to last a little bit longer, I definitely don't do this every day, hence why the tube is so small, but I will add a primer if I'm going to be doing a kind of day to night sort of look. So I just put a little bit of that on. There's a lot of discussion, I think, around primers, like if you do or don't need to waste your money on one. This is not an expensive one. I just really like it for filling in some like fine lines and pores and things like that. So I would probably just use a light layer of that. Whether you do use it or not, it's not really a big deal. I notice it helps extend the life of my makeup, but I also really just don't think it's essential if you can't afford to add that into your routine. Now, the next thing I'm going to go in with is my current favorite in summer, and that is this BB cream from Rimmel. So this is a really affordable one, and it's in the shade medium. So this is a long-lasting up to 24-hour hydration for even skin tone. So I really like this one. I think it actually has a little bit of hyaluronic acid or something in it. I sort of just use a little squeeze. And then what I like to do is actually mix it in with a different foundation. So BB cream is, SPF 15. So it does have a little bit of SPF in it, but I've already done my skincare for the morning. So what I put on before all of this makeup was some zinc to protect me from hyperpigmentation and the sun, and also a vitamin C serum. So the next one I mix it with is this Revlon Color Stay in Natural. And they've got a bunch of different shades in this. This has been my like OG concealer since high school days probably. So yeah, I've never really strayed from this one because it just gives a really even and natural finish. So again, I'm just going to add one pump to what I already had there in my hands and just use my fingers to massage it into the skin. I think it's really good to have a go-to natural look because going to work ordinarily in an office, it just really saved me a lot of time by knowing exactly what makeup items I was going to rip out of the cupboard and how they're kind of going to look and if they would last all day. And yeah, I just think it makes your life a lot easier if you just kind of have that down pat. And then if you want to upgrade your look, you could add some fake lashes or heavier color of eyeshadow, maybe some eyeliner, that kind of thing. But this is pretty much my makeup that I do every day if I'm going somewhere. And if I'm staying at home, I honestly don't wear makeup. I used to be obsessed with wearing makeup all the time. And I think that was because I grew up dancing, and yeah, it was just like you always had to be on. You always had your stage face ready. You needed to be presentable. And by the way, I'm just massaging it into the side because you don't want to get a line. But yeah, I think I was just used to needing to always be on, which is a little bit exhausting. And yeah, I just think your skin is, once you get a really good skincare routine down, and I've done another video all about the products that I use for that, but I feel like the older I get, the less I care about if I run into someone in public and I'm not wearing makeup or, you know, my hair isn't done or whatever. But it's also because my skin is a lot better these days. Like I barely drink anymore. I don't really go out or do any late nights, and I have a really great exercise routine and a diet and everything sorted out. So that really just tends to show up in your skin. Also in the whites of your eyes. I always get people commenting that my eyes seem really bright, and I honestly just think that is a factor of my lifestyle. So the next product that I'm going to go in with now that it is summer is this Drunk Elephant bronzer called d-bronzi. I got this from Mecca. I absolutely love this. It's called Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops. It's quite expensive, but that's okay because you really don't need too much. So I just use 2 small pumps of that. And this is definitely one of those products where a little goes a long way. So I just kind of rub that between my palms. You can pat it over your face and you can kind of already see like the color difference there, but you're just going to blend it in over the top of your existing makeup. Now, if I wanted to have a makeup free day, but still have some color in my face, because obviously we know to not tan the face, then you could pretty much just put on a few pumps of that, a little flick of mascara, and you'd be ready to go out the door. So yeah, that is definitely one of my favorite go-to products that really just gives you a nice shine and a bronzed finish. Now, I will wipe down my hands using a makeup wipe in between this because I apply a lot of my makeup using my hands. I know some people are real brush people. I'm more of a hands-on kind of person. So yeah, I end up always going through packets and packets of those face wipes, but I definitely have replaced them recently with some muslin cloths, but those currently in the wash. But I would recommend getting that if you're someone who's constantly, going through products like these, because it's not really a sustainable thing for the environment. So the next thing I'm going to be using is this highlighter stick from MCO Beauty in the color Champagne. So I like to put this down the middle of my nose, a little bit on the chin, and a little bit under each eye. And this one you can just blend in with your fingers or with a brush, but I feel like you know me by now and I'm just going to use my hands for absolutely everything. So sorry if this is destroying any makeup artist dreams who are going to tell me that it's a bit gross to do that, but that is my method. So again, we'll just blend this side in with the fingers. And the reason why I like this product as well is because it sits really flat and blends really well into your makeup while just giving you a nice natural shine. Whereas I think when I was using, I can't remember the brand that I was using. It was like another one from Mecca. It was very expensive powder illuminator and it just caked on top of your makeup. So if you're looking for still being able to use a highlighter but just having something that gives you a natural sort of glow, then I would really recommend this product. The next step is to add on blush. So if you really want to look awake and alive, you should use a blush. I've got this one from L'Oreal and it is called Le Blush in color Rose Santal. I'll just show you that on the back there. It's just a really great natural kind of blush that's not too full on. Feel very tired today, so it's good to be doing some makeup. I had to spend 7 hours on hold yesterday rebooking my Christmas flight. So I live down in Melbourne and my family lives up on the Gold Coast. So I was hoping to go home to them for Christmas, which I still am, but what happened with the situation is there was another outbreak in Sydney. So yeah, and my flight was not a direct flight because the direct flights were a couple of $100. So I ended up opting for one that went via Sydney and it just kept getting cancelled and rescheduled. And it got to the point where I was going to be having a 25-hour domestic layover in Sydney, which is just ridiculous because I would have had to get a hotel and everything as well. So I ended up calling Virgin, finally got through to them and just rescheduled and cancelled that flight. So now I've got a direct one a few days later instead. So thank God I do get to go home and see my parents. It's been a really long year down here in Melbourne. So that was something I've really been holding on to and it absolutely made my day knowing that I can get up there now. Okay, the next step is to go in with a powder. I've got this one from Revlon in the shade medium, and that's just to blend the highlighter and the blush. This powder kind of exploded when I took it overseas, and it has never gone back into the little holes ever since. So it's a bit precarious how much comes out on the brush, but yeah, I really do like this kind of more natural buff color of powder as well, and I actually don't go over my whole face with it. I only just go on my cheeks, blend it down. I don't put any up here because I feel like it really just, you can start to look a bit too overdone if you're really setting your makeup too much. Alrighty, now it's time to go in for the brows. I actually got my eyebrows microbladed probably about 3 or 4 years ago, but I really wasn't happy with the shape. They were a little bit too thick and a little bit too dark, so I ended up letting the pigmentation fade out of them, and I haven't got them retouched since. So I do fill in my eyebrows using a pencil and also this product called Magic Brows from Emco Beauty. So this is kind of like a lash like mascara kind of thing, just gives them a little bit of definition, and that one is just for some color. I do want to get them redone. I really did love having brows microbladed. You can probably see here is where I would draw them into, because that's kind of the extended shape that I want, that I just don't have in my natural brow. And so I will eventually get them done. It's just, obviously it's like $700, so it's a little bit of an expense. And also just the upkeep as well, you know, like having to do that, like a touch-up session probably every year or every year and a half. But it is on my to-do list. But for now, we will just go in with this pencil. I think if you are gonna get your brows microbladed, just make sure you're really sure about exactly what you want, like what shape you want, and going to a good technician that just has a lot of before and after photos that really resonate with the kind of effect you're after, because I guess that was my problem. My budget at the time wasn't where it probably needed to be committing to something getting tattooed on your face. And I actually do have a few small tattoos as well. I've got another one here, and in terms of real tattoos, I did my research and I made sure I went somewhere that was really reliable and just could do the kind of really fine art like what I wanted. And I would say treat your eyebrows absolutely no differently. They are an actual tattoo on your face. So if you do intend to get them done, then yeah, just make sure it's something you're going to be really happy with, because you kind of can't undo it like me for a couple of years. So this brow gel is a brown colored one, and I just go in over the top of my eyebrows with that to kind of fluff them out a little bit. Okay, now we can do some eyeshadow. I don't know if anyone else's makeup is kind of broken in their makeup palettes, but I just really love this old Napoleon Purtis color, and I don't even know if that brand exists in Australia anymore, but this is it. It is called Copper Topper, and I actually found this from a girl when I was out at a pub one time, and she had it on in the middle of the day, and I just thought it was the most beautiful natural color. It's kind of like a blend between a brown and a purple kind of, and I wouldn't really put too much on, but as you can see, I just kind of blend it with my finger, and I only use this one single color. I'm definitely not a makeup artist or someone with actually good makeup skills, so this is just kind of my go-to to kind of define that eye area a little bit more, but not being too over the top to be an everyday look. I will also go in with a fine-tipped brush, and it's also good if you wet this, but I am currently sitting in my living room, so I don't have the ability to do that, but it definitely helps make the eyeshadow sit a little bit more. And I just go under the eyes like that. And that's probably enough. I mean, like I said again, if this was like a going out makeup look, I would do a couple of blends of different eyeshadows together. I would have gone a lot probably heavier or darker or things like that, but this is just meant to be a daytime kind of look. So now I'm using some setting spray, and this one dries pretty quickly. It is from NYX. This is it. It's the matte finishing spray. And I prefer this to the dewy one that they have. The dewy one just really didn't sit right on my skin, and it definitely didn't feel like it was fixing my makeup, but this one is really great. And I have probably gone through 6 or 7 bottles of that, so I definitely wouldn't rebuy it if it wasn't doing the job. Okay, so to finish some of that off, I am going to do some eyeliner. I use a combination of pens. So I've got this one, which is one of those kind of cheats pens with the tick on the end of it so that you don't have to draw it on yourself. And then this one is just a regular tipped pen. So it's not focusing. There, it's just a regular tipped pen, and that is just to fill it in. So we will start with our little cheats one. It's also got 2 sides, but I didn't like the eyeliner side of that one. So you can kind of just stamp it on. Like so. And then go back with your actual eyeliner and fix it. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this to you guys because it's way too hard. We already know how hard eyeliner is. So I might just take a beat and I will come back when it's finished. Okay, so I've done the eyeliner. So I just close my eye so you can see that little tick shape that is created by the stamp. It's a really great cheats way. If eyeliner is something that takes you a really long time to get it even on both sides, then you can just grab yourself one of these pens and that won't be a problem anymore. Now on the lip, I'm just gonna clean it with a makeup wipe first. And for a really natural look, I don't use a lipstick, I just have a gloss. So I've got this one, which is Mecca Cosmetica's own brand. And that is this really nice neutral shade of pink. And this is Mecca Cosmetica Nude Lip in Deluscious. And it's also got SPF in it. So it looks like this on the inside. It's just kind of like a really basic gel type. And I use that because it just looks like a really natural pale kind of sheen on the lip, and that's kind of what I'm going for. I don't really want a thick or heavy color or something that's going to wear off or just look not quite right. So that is the finished lip. Now we've literally just got one last step to go, and that is some mascara so that I will finally look awake for the day. So the one I've been loving lately at the moment is this Wonder Deluxe one from Rimmel. And I love this. It's got a kind of curved, thick brush like this. And these ones I think are the best for lifting your lashes. And then after that, when it is dry, I will just curl them as well. After I finish doing this, I'm also going to do my hair because I've got some other content to film today. So this won't be the last thing that I do, but I do have an entire video on my method for how I curl my hair. If you're interested in watching that, I will leave it linked in the description box down below. And this is pretty much going to be this makeup look done. So I don't have the best of eyelashes. I've been using a growth serum to try and get them to grow out a bit more, but it's a slow process. I feel like my boyfriend just has the world's most beautiful lashes. He is European by background, and he just has these like amazing long lashes that just curl as if they've had a lift when they haven't. So It is very annoying when you have long straight lashes like mine that just need a little bit of enthusiasm to actually do anything, but such is life. Now I'm also going to do my lashes under the eye as well. I never used to do this, but I have been of late because it really defines your eyes and makes them stand out a lot more. Okay, so that is it. This is my natural everyday makeup look, and it's really quite quick to get done. I could have done it much quicker if I wasn't having a chat with you guys. So I would definitely recommend getting your hands on some of these products if you want a really inexpensive and natural makeup look. But yeah, this is just my super quick and easy go-to every single day, and I really enjoy doing it for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.